Hey guys, what's up? It's ItsSMOGONdevo here, back at it with some more practice content. Really sorry for the delay. I meant to push out all of this stuff a lot earlier, but you know, stuff happened. But here we are. I'm going to try to just put out all of my practice videos in a huge session right now and upload the tournament videos. I'm actually heading out to Montreal tomorrow morning for the Safari Zone. So if you're out there, go ahead and let me know. Looking for a few things in trade. I don't really know off the top of my head right now, but I'll probably talk about it later in one of these series of videos. But yeah, I'm gonna be there tomorrow morning, so I've been trying to figure out a lot of last minute stuff. Got really busy. The editing, I wasn't slacking on that. It's pretty much all done as well. Just a few voiceovers I have to do. So that's what I'm doing here right now. But yeah, today we're gonna be just doing some practice videos. Then we're gonna try to get out the tournament videos as well. I'll give you some updates a little later in a few videos from now, trying to talk about my plans for this month. I think it's changed a bit, but yeah, I don't want to get into that right now. One more update actually, I just got a new mic. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot better. Really like it. It seems to be like a million times better than what I've been using now. I've been using just like a pair of headphones and the mic that's attached with them, so it's pretty awful. But yeah, this feels a lot nicer. That's enough rambling for now. Why don't we go ahead and just jump into these practice videos. Today we're going to be doing regional videos, so we're taking a little bit of a break from Twilight. I don't want to tire you out from that. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll see you in the battles. Alright, here we go. I was messing around with one of my earlier teams here that was really heavily focused around Bronzong. So we're going to go ahead and go with this Azumarill lead. We lead into Togekiss, and this is a pretty good matchup for you as long as you actually have Ice Beam. With Play Rough, it isn't a horrible matchup either. The charm damage does add up. I believe Togekiss probably wins in the 2 shield. But yeah, so I go for this Play Rough, trying to burn a shield. There we go, I do get it. If I don't shield this, my Azu is definitely going to go down, so I'm going to shield. Getting that boost would be pretty horrible. And now I'm thinking about switching, but you know, I figured I can get to this Play Rough, so I might as well just go for it. Maybe I can get both shields here. If not, I'm not really scared of taking Ancient Power or Aerialis on the Bronzong. But he does decide to let Togekiss go down, and because of that, I actually get to keep switch advantage. He brings in the Mirror. I'm not too worried about that. I do have Venusaur in the back, and I know I can take an Ice Beam and still live. So I'm gonna push for my Frenzy Plant here. Yeah, like I don't have to shield this. I can force him to shield before I have to burn one, even with that Ice Beam. So here we go, I get my Frenzy Plant, and now he has to decide to shield or not. If he doesn't, he's going to be in a pretty tough position, and he does burn that shield. So I can do a few things now. I can build up to my Frenzy Plant and go a bit further, but he actually switches out to the Medicham, so I see it and I bring in Bronzong right away, saving that Frenzy Plant for the Azu coming back in. He may have been trying to count my Vine Whips there. This is a decent matchup for Zong, and I'm actually up a shield over him, so I should have this pretty much down packed. I decide to block the second pup because it's going to put me pretty low if I don't, and I wanted to get to this Side Shock. This Side Shock's going to do a nice amount of damage to the Cham. It is neutral, and Cham is basically knocked out at this point. Confusion damage will finish it off. Azu comes in and I can get to another Side Shock. Put in some nice chips so I can guarantee that Vine Whip KO. I almost messed up the bubbles over there. Almost have enough to switch, so there you go. And then I just go straight for that Frenzy Plant. And that should knock out the Azu. I do like Bronzong in regionals, but I ended up deciding on a team that doesn't really use it. It's an interesting pick, especially with that Side Shock threat. So here we go, I'm going to lead Bronzong this time with Haunter and Venusaur in the back. I lead Bronzong into the Skarmory, and this can be a good matchup for you as long as your Bronzong has really high defense. I think you need around 154 to 155 and higher, and then you can pretty much guarantee that you receive the breakpoint against Skarmory, so that you can beat it in the one shield scenario. Jirachi doesn't need it, so that is one reason why I tend to prefer Jirachi over Bronzong. He makes a really good switch, and I waste that Side Shock. But now I can bring in Venusaur, and this is a relatively even matchup. I think it goes to CMP. He is ahead of me on energy though, so I burn that first shield. I go for the Frenzy Plant. I'm hoping to at least even out our shields, but if I can get rid of this Sableye, then Haunter is in a decent position. Go for the Undertap, but he's up on energy, so he does get to the foul play before me. I'm not going to shield, and that will actually allow my Venusaur to go down. I bring in Haunter just because of a lack of options, and I'm able to actually farm down the Sableye. He brings back in Skarmory, so I'm actually going to go straight for, I think I go Shadow Ball here. I just wanted to, yeah, I go for the Shadow Ball just to do a huge chunk of that Skarmory, and we actually are just short of KOing. I'm not going to burn a shield here because I still have the Bronze on, and I should be able to farm down that Skarmory, if only I didn't waste that Psyshock at the start. And he brings in Medicham, so this is a good matchup for Zong in the one shield if you're full, but because I'm so far behind, I don't think this is going to be that great for me. Power Up Punch is neutral. I'd have to get potentially land like 2 Psyshocks to win this. I don't think I can get 3, so I won't be able to land 2, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like Bronzong is going to go down there, unfortunately. That Sableye was just too much of a threat for this 3. But this time we go ahead and lead Altoria with Azu and Venusaur in the back. And then we'll see what he tries to bring in on me this time. I forget what the actual 6 was, or at least that final 5th slot. It might have been a Swampert. But we lead Altoria into Cham, and this is an okay matchup. It does get pretty close, but my Altoria is like a rank 5 or something, so I'm not entirely worried about this. Never block that first Power Up Punch, even that Ice Punch, the first one you can take. He switches in a Alolan Raichu, and this is actually a good matchup for you as the Altoria, because you do actually take neutral from Electric because of Altoria's Dragon typing. But now I switch into Venusaur, into his Electric move coming in. I forget if he goes Wild Charge or Thunder Punch. He does go Wild Charge, and it does a decent amount of damage, but not quite enough, and he's already down a shield, so gonna force his hand here. He's got to choose to lose that Alolan Raichu or burn his second shield, and he just lets it go. Probably the better play. Brings in Sableye, and I can probably get a shield or do a nice amount of damage here. I have Azu in the back, so I'm not entirely worried. Even Altoria has a really good matchup versus Sableye. We got that final shield. I can't get to another one, and he's farming down now. I'm going to bring back in Altoria because I know I can go for the KO. I will shield just to keep it as healthy as possible. Ooh, he actually had enough for 2 foul plays. I had 2 shields, so I didn't mind burning the first one. But I will decide to take the second foul play coming in just so I can try to save a shield for Azu in the back. Get this Sky Attack. I miss all those bubbles. I'm still pretty bad at the flying move minigame. He brings in the Medicham, and this is why I have Azu in the back waiting. I'm not going to burn any shields on the Altoria here, although landing that Sky Attack would be really great for me. Goes for a pup, and now I have Azu, and I just have to get to this play rough. I shouldn't have to shield this either. If I wanted to be cheeky, I would shield it, but I don't really see the need. Get this play rough, and it's GG. Actually, I still go for a cheeky play, and I actually go for the Hydro Pump here, knowing I can get to it pretty easily. And we knock out that Medicham. Jumping into the next one. Yes, this team, the final member of this team was in fact the Swampert. So this time we go with that double Water Flex and Haunter in the back. We lead Swampert into Jirachi, which is really good for me. I think he's going to switch out, so I have my switch menu ready as I try to farm up some energy here. Brings in the Medicham, and this is perfect. I can bring in Haunter and just farm down this Cham completely. You don't have to shield the first move. You can actually take this Ice Punch. It's one of the few moves Haunter can actually tank. If it's a Power Up Punch, it's even better for you. I go for a Shadow Punch just because I don't want him to get to another Ice Punch or Power Up Punch, because I don't really want to burn a shield before him. And then we just knock out the Medicham. And then I'm really close to a second Shadow Punch, so I can force this Jirachi to burn a shield. At this point, I don't really feel a need in burning any shield on Haunter. It's taken out the Cham and burned the shield. And now I have Swampert to do this Hydro Cannon. I'm going to burn his shield here. I don't want to take a Doom Desire. It would hurt. Hydro Cannon's going to do a nice amount of chip though. He doesn't shield it, and then I can farm up that last little bit of HP, and I almost have 2 Hydro Cannons ready to go and Azu in the back. He actually brings in the Azu. I'll just go straight for an Earthquake. I can mirror his Azu, so as long as I can take a shield or do a nice amount of damage, I'm not too worried here. And then this time I go just for a Hydro Cannon, just so I can try to do a little bit more chip, but it's basically done at this point. And he does burn that shield. I can actually get to 1 more Hydro Cannon. I try to push a little too hard to the Earthquake. So I'm going to shield here thinking I can at least get a Hydro Cannon, if not an Earthquake. But I do push for that Earthquake, and I got a bit greedy. The Azu had 2 Ice Beams ready to go. But it's still alright. I have my Azu in the back, so I could afford to be greedy in that situation. I just have to hit this play rough, and then we can take this match. Yeah, this video is going to be a little longer. I just wanted to ease you guys into the regional content, and then try to get out my regional tournament video as well. So you're going to see a ton of battles this time around. Really flexing this team. This isn't the team I used in my tournament, but I had a lot of fun with it. So jumping into the next one, we go with that same 3, the Swampert, Azu, and Haunter core, or 3 rather. New opponent this time, Francisco, one of my lobby members, really great player. He actually brings in Melmetal to my Swampert, not the best situation to be in for him. I don't have to shield anything unless he's like a Flash Cannon or a Hyper Beam Melmetal, but I don't really see those ever. He goes Rock Slide, and I do resist that because I'm a ground type, so it's not going to do a terrible amount of damage, and I farmed up a ton of energy at this point. So I go for a Hydro Cannon. Ooh. Trying to turn on my Do Not Disturb there. Does a huge chunk, and I still don't want to burn this shield. I don't have to, and Swampert can actually farm up that last little bit of HP and get a ton of energy here. There you go. So usually I would just kind of launch one of the fast moves blindly. This time I go Hydro Cannon, but I have enough energy where I can really threaten whatever comes in. And I'm getting a bit greedy trying to go for this Earthquake. And then I get this Earthquake on the Azu, and it does a huge chunk, and I'm actually up a shield here, so I can get to 1 more Hydro Cannon. Man, I love Swampert so much. Maybe my IVs are just really good, so I end up in a position like that a lot, but my Swampert almost always survives ready with 1 more Hydro Cannon. Now I bring in Haunter. I have 2 shields up on an Azu, so I can pretty much just farm this thing down completely. We'll see. If he burns both of my shields, then I might get a little bit worried and try to take him out with a fast move. He's pretty low, so I'm pretty confident that I can actually just farm the rest of his HP down. Oh, he switches out. Really great switch. But I'm going to go for that Shadow Ball. Now at this point it doesn't even matter if Haunter goes down, because I can mirror my Azu into his at the end of this. And look at that Shadow Ball. Just completely destroys him. Yeah, he does have 1 more. Oh, sorry, that's me. So yeah, I just go for the Shadow Punch here and knock out the Azu. Bam, Azu goes down. So for the next match, we're going to bring back Bronzong and actually go ahead with Bronzong, Azu, and Altoria. So yeah, I think this team is Bronzong, Azu, Alt, Haunter, Swampert, and Venusaur, I think. Swampert, Venusaur, Haunter, yeah. So I actually lead into the Lapras here. I forget how this matchup goes. I think it's in favor of Zong, but I could be wrong here. I go for the Psyshock, get that first shield. If it's Skull Bashes, I'll let it because I do resist the Skull Bash. And then he just burned a ton of energy. But yeah, he goes for the Surf, which I think is the correct play. He should have 2, yeah. So he'll go for the second one as well. I don't really want to burn Zong or burn any shields on Zong right now, and I thought I could get to a shield. I make a really dumb switch, and I switch Azu into the Shift Tree. I guess I thought he was going to be bringing in a Sableye or something into the Bronzong. Something with ghost type moves to feint it down really quick. So I kind of made a mistake here. But I knew I could get to this play rough and at least pressure this Shiftry into a shield. So I burnt one of my own just so I can put it into this position here. And I do get that final shield, which is great for me. Now I can bring in Altoria with 0 fears. This is kind of an uphill match, but I do have some resources to play out of it. It really just depends on what's in the back on his team. But Lapras is going to threaten Altoria greatly. Goes for a foul play and it is neutral and does quite a bit of damage, but with Razor Leaf it builds energy so slow that I shouldn't have to worry about another one. And now I have a ton of energy banked. He brings back in the Lapras and I just go straight away for his Sky Attack. A Dragon Pulse might have been better, but I know I have some energy left on the Bronzong as well. So I just go for a Side Shock, get rid of the biggest threat to ult. He has got no shield and I still have the 1. So we take out Lapras right there. And he has a Swampert, which is great for me. I can get to 1 more Sky Attack. So yeah, it actually would not have been preferred to Dragon Pulse there because then I wouldn't have been so close to the Sky Attack. Does a ton of damage. Altoria resists both of Swampert's moves unless it runs Sludge Wave, so I know I can take a Hydro Cannon. I didn't want to shield the second one because I was a little worried about being farmed down a little bit and being put in range. So I don't shield the first one coming in and I shield the second one, and then I can actually get to another Sky Attack to finish off the Swampert. And there you go, we take out that Swampert. Alright, jumping into the next game, we actually are running, I think, a slightly different team. I don't remember if Probo was on this 6. But we lead Probo with Venusaur and Azu in the back. I think what it was is I was actually going back and forth between Bronzong and Probopass for a regionals team. So I was just kind of looking at both of them, trying to get a feel for which I liked. And I hadn't really used Bronzong a lot. So we go for that Thunderbolt. Pretty good matchup for Probo. Now I can go for a Rock Slide, hoping to pressure him out and get a shield now that I went for a Thunderbolt first. Miss all those bubbles. Yeah, get that shield there. I'm not scared of the Thunderbolt or Rock Slide really. I think Probo would be able to tank either. Rock Slide for sure, yeah, and he goes for a Rock Slide that's resisted. Probo tanks it like a champ. He manages to get to another one. He got to it pretty quick, so I'm kind of confident that it was a Rock Slide, but I guess I didn't count properly. It was a Thunderbolt, but luckily my Probopass hangs on just enough to release its own Rock Slide. And we knock out the Melmetal, and I get to keep Switch advantage with a Shield advantage as well. So let's see what he brings in here. He brings in a Shiftry and does a number on me. But now I have Venusaur, and this should be a really good matchup for Venusaur, just because it packs that Sludge Bomb threat. And I have 2 shields up over him. He makes a really great switch there. Into Lapras, that's not the best option. So I see that, and I decide to go for this Frenzy Plant. Do a ton of damage, but he manages to block it. Now I bring in Azu. I'm not going to shield at all here. I want to keep both for Shiftry. Actually, it wouldn't hurt that much to burn 1 shield if I need to. But I think what I try to do here is I try to farm up a little bit of energy so I can have a play rough ready for the Shiftry. Releasing that Ice Beam though lets me know that he is definitely not a Skull Bash Lapras, so I'm immediately not worried at all about the Lapras. I don't have to shield anything here. Ice Beam's not going to do anything and Surf is not going to do anything. But I do just decide to burn the shield to keep Azu a little healthier. Because I have 2, I guess. It doesn't hurt me to burn the shield really, as long as I can try to keep 1 for Venusaur. And I'm just trying to farm it down. He switches it out. That was a mistake, because now I can actually use that play rough. Does a ton of damage there. And then if I can get to this last play rough here, looks like a CMP tie. I do shield it just in case. Although I'm pretty sure Azu could have actually taken a Surf at that range. So we launch that play rough off, and that's going to be enough to knock out the Lapras. Take that match as well. This time we lead Altoria with Venusaur and Swampert in the back. This was one of my first times actually messing around with Swampert, or one of my first sets of just using it. And it impressed me all the way back then, and even now I still love it. It's probably one of my favorite Pokemon to use in Great League, just because of how spammy and powerful it is. And it always manages to die with that Hydro Cannon, or right before it dies, I'll be able to launch it off. So we lead Alt into his Raichu. Again, this is a good matchup for you as the Altoria. You're taking neutral from the electric types rather than super effective damage, and that Dragon Breath damage just adds up a lot for the Alolan Raichu. I take that Wild Charge, it does a lot, but as long as I burn a shield on the next move coming in, I should have the match. I'm confident that he'll go for a Thunder Punch just to draw out the shield. Yeah. And he switches out, which is a little curious. I can bring in Swampert now. This is a really good matchup for Swampert. Go for that Hydro Cannon. Get the shield. Sky Attack would hurt though, so I do shield. What is it, 5 Air Slashes to a Sky Attack? By this point I don't think I was actually counting, so I just launched the Hydro Cannon right away. But I should have counted so that I knew exactly how far he was, and then I could have farmed up a little bit more energy. Looks like he was closer than I thought. He's actually going to be able to knock out my Swampert, and that's okay. Oh, Swampert again, dying with that Hydro Cannon. Yeah, he can knock out my Swampert, and that forces Alt to come back in. That's okay though. I have Venusaur in the back to deal with his Raichu as well. So I go for the Sky Attack just to knock it out. And then I'm close to another one. I go for the Sky Attack, but actually Dragon Breath might have been able to feint down the Raichu there. Now the Raichu goes down, it's just... gotta hope that I have something that Venusaur can deal with. It's an Altoria, so this is pretty bad for me to be in. Double Flyer Shred, I haven't seen that in a little while. This is a really bad matchup for me. I have no shields, so this Sky Attack is gonna basically knock out Venusaur here. And yeah, it actually manages to knock out Venusaur. So we lose that matchup. Got put into a bad position, but it's alright. Next game, we go with the Venusaur lead with Probo and Azu in the back. And this is actually going to be the last game here of the video. Versus a new opponent one more time, Midnight Mailman. I don't know how I feel about Venusaur anymore. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it. It performs really well for me sometimes, I find, but other times it tends to be a little bit of a liability. I think I prefer Meganium, but Venusaur having that better head-to-head and Tropius having the head-to-head has me slightly preferring them more, I guess, but I don't know, I guess I wish Meganium just had a better time versus other grass types. Okay, so we lead Venusaur, and I actually go straight for the Sludge Bomb into his own Venusaur. I switch out trying to catch his Sludge Bomb, but he doesn't fall for it. And he sees my Probopass come in, goes for the Frenzy Plant. This is also a pretty even matchup between these two. Go for the Rock Slide, I force him to make a decision first on the shield. He does shield it. And now I'll shield as well. I think I can get to a Rock Slide before he can get to another Frenzy Plant. By Under Tap right here. I do go for the Under Tap, and then I can actually beat him to the Rock Slide. Knock out that Venusaur. Depending on what he brings in, I might be able to get to one more Rock Slide. He brings in Altoria, that is insane. So I get to this Rock Slide on the Altoria. This is the exact position Probopass wants to be in, and he doesn't shield. Oh man. I didn't mind losing Probo because I knew I had that Azu in the back. Azu's going to soak up all of these Dragon Breaths. Even Sky Attack isn't going to hurt too much. And I fully expect the Altoria to switch out at this point into Azu. So I can bring back in my Venusaur. And then I can go for the KO on Azu. If I were him, I wouldn't shield my Azu at all, and I would try to farm up the Venusaur with my Azu. I'm not going to shield. I want him to Ice Beam because I want my Venusaur to be low, but he goes Hydro Pump, showing that he isn't an Ice Beam Azu. But yeah, the reason why I wouldn't shield is because I would want my Venusaur to be low in this position so that the Altoria could not farm me up. Now I go for a Sludge Bomb though because I have the energy for it. It does shield, I think it might have actually KO'd at that range. But now I can bring in Azu, and once I get to that play rough, it's GG's for me. Don't have to shield the Sky Attack, Azu can definitely take it. Second one coming in, I would shield though. There you go, under tap for that play rough. And then we should be able to take this match. Altoria goes down, and there you go. Alright, I hope you enjoyed those battles. That was my first delve into the regionals meta, at least with you guys on video. Yeah, so soon we're going to be releasing that regionals tournament video. Get to see that one very, very soon. I used a different team, but I'll go over all of that in the video. As usual, if you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave me a comment, drop a like, sub to the channel as well if you wouldn't mind. I always appreciate that. I'm also curious to know if you guys noticed any difference in the quality of the mic. Definitely let me know. It sounds good to me in editing, but I'm curious to know what you guys think as the actual listeners. I think this was a decent temporary investment. I actually lost my personal mic in my move. No idea where it is. So I'm hoping this is a good temporary solution until I buy a much better mic later, but yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'm extremely active there. I'll answer any of your questions there if I don't get to you on Discord. Usually pretty active on both platforms, TMing on Discord and just messing around on Twitter, I guess. Yeah, so you can go ahead and follow me there or send me a chat on Discord and I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. And again, I'm going to be headed to the Safari Zone tomorrow. I'll be there a day earlier, so if you guys are in Montreal at all and you want to hang, you want to do some raids, hit me up. I'm not really doing anything on the Thursday night. Friday, I think I'm pretty busy. I have that Safari Zone, and then there's that, I think King is doing a walk raid and then dinner. I'm probably going to head to that as well. Saturday, I'm busy only at the nighttime for the Safari Cup tournament. I've done 0 scrims, so I'm expecting to get swept there. But yeah, during the day I'll be free again, so if anyone wants to do a meetup, you know, do some raids, I'll be around. I definitely look forward to trying to get a shiny Side Strike Mewtwo. That's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the videos. More coming. Again, sorry about the delay. A lot of stuff came up, but here I am now trying to get all of this stuff out to you. Take care for now. See you in the next one.